What's good, everybody? I just came on here to let you know, please read, study, and apply the word of God, because there's so many people who don't believe in the Bible that know way more than people who believe in this Bible. And I'm like, because it talks about in Hosea 4:6 how God's people perish for lack of knowledge. It clearly shows, because you got to realize that there's so many non-Christians who know more about the Bible than Christians. That's why I say advocate for studying, because context is key. Because a lot of these non-religious people, they don't have full context on this stuff. They think they do, but when we kind of say context, they be like, oh, no. It says what it says. They don't need for context. Context is key for every single thing that you read in the Bible. Context is very important, but people don't see the way. When people read things, they be like, oh, it says what it says there, and that's what it means. I'm like, no. For a few things, maybe, but you still need context for everything. So you still need context for everything. Context is very key. This is why I say study more. Because Christians, as Christians, we need to know the Bible. I mean, you don't have to know you have to know everything about the Bible. But we messed up. We human. So. But you have to know about the Bible, because there's more non-Christians out here who know way more about the Bible than us, and that's a problem. That's a problem. That's really a problem. That really is. Because when we try to share the gospel, we can't share the gospel effectively. We can't share the gospel effectively because of the fact that, yes, we need to plant the seed, so share the gospel. I'm not saying don't. I'm not saying don't, because you don't have to be a theologian or really smart on the Bible to know to share the gospel. I'm just saying you really know the Bible, because the fact that you can't share the gospel effectively to certain people. I'm not saying to everybody. I'm saying you can't share the gospel effectively to certain people if you don't know certain aspects of the Bible, because then somebody can hit you with something you don't know how to rebuttal, and then they may think they have won or something. But they really didn't win, but they may think that. They may try to trip you up and say, oh, God, this, that. That's why studying and context matters. This is why more Christians need to study, and stop being so lazy on studying. This is why more non-Christians know the Bible more than Christians, and that's terrible.